Level 86. Ponder, warrant, cherish, welcome. Having found the wayward ambystoma, Hermes is the picture of relief. Well, we mustn't keep the others waiting. Let us return to Ananorisis. Oh no, we've aggroed something. Just outrun it. My apologies for the trouble. Owing to your kind assistance, all the ambystomas are safe and well. I will presently send them back to their space. If you would go on ahead to the main building. Upon entering, you will see a table and chairs, a meeting area. We may speak there. Very well, take care not to let the creatures slip away again. Look at that cornering. Yay.
This appears to be the place. And here is where we part ways. We will be discussing highly sensitive affairs. Only a select few may be privy to such knowledge, and that does not include someone who cannot or will not divulge their origins. What? Will I have to remove you by force?
I have important things to say to him as well. There are reasons I cannot speak freely.
Let's hear them then, these reasons of yours. Who knows? If I deem your mysterious cause worthy, I may even be inclined to offer my assistance.
I do not object to her attendance.
Hermes, this is highly irregular.
Perhaps, but I believe she can be trusted. Meteion would not have taken to her so quickly otherwise. Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure.
As you wish, then. Behave yourself, do you hear?
So, it's finally happened, then.
Aye. Van Daniels declared his intention to step down and named you as his preferred successor. In recognition of your knowledge and your works, the convocation is giving the recommendation due consideration. As one who does not know you personally, I am to use my impartial eye to take your measure. And above all else, to ascertain your disposition towards the invitation. I understand that you and Fandaniel are close. He himself was once chief overseer of Elpis after all. I should not be surprised if you knew before anyone else that he wished to relinquish his office.
I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me.
A torch you seem none too pleased to accept. Are you so averse to serving on the convocation?
No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Fandaniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the star?
Of his own volition, yes, like so many others have before him.
Return to the star? Does that mean die?
Well now, that's not a word I hear often. Is that what you say here in Elpis? Mankind is the life of Aetheris. Each of us, a drop of blood flowing through its veins, bearing sustenance. In our finite time upon it, 'tis our duty to make it a better place, that all who call it home, now and in future, may abide in happiness. To that end, we have dedicated ourselves to the pursuit of enlightened creation. And by our efforts did we transform this once untamed wilderness into the peaceful paradise you enjoy today. To return to the star whence we came is a privilege afforded to we who have so loved and nurtured it. A choice embraced by those who have lived their lives to the fullest, in service to our world. And when they depart upon this journey, it is beautiful, always.
The 14 are no exception. 'Tis believed no occasion is more felicitous than the fulfillment of one's duty. Our office becomes our lives, and to retire is to return, or so the majority of us hold. Some few have elected to eschew custom. Mayhap you feel Fandaniel's deeds do not warrant his return. Yet you should know his accomplishments as well as any. During his time, he conceived of countless outstanding concepts. And channeling the wealth of experience he attained here in Elpis, he brought forth many new specimens.
I know of all this. I do. It's just, I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all. Oh no. I've made her upset. Forgive me. I know I requested your presence. Might I trouble you to take Meteon outside? A change of scenery would do her good.
I was just getting good, though. I'm sorry, I didn't mean a walk. Perhaps we can go for a walk? Hermes gets sad when he thinks about death. When others are sad, I'm sad too. That's how I am. How he made me. But don't worry, I'm fine now. So why did you come here? You want to learn about Elpis and Hermes? Ooh, teach you. I can teach you. We could take turns. I tell you something and you tell me something. Sounds like fun. Sure, why not? Sounds like a bother. It will be, it will be. Where to start? Ah, yes, let's talk to Memnon. He should be near the Aetherite. I'm not good at explaining, but Memnon is, so I'll have him explain instead. Meteon is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Meteon behind by entering a different area by speaking with her and selecting the option to part ways. Wish to have Meteon accompany you again, return and speak with her at the original location. Discuss the Aetherite. Ah, the Aetherite. Anyone can use it to teleport anywhere. Well, maybe not anywhere, not to the ground or the other isles. For that, you need teleporters. Oh, and permission. And what have we here? Though you look like a person, you have the ears and tail of a beast. I assume you're a familiar like Meteon. Is there something you need? Zilly, could you teach her about Elpis? A newly arrived familiar, is she? Very well. I should be glad to introduce our fair facility to her. As you know, it is mankind's duty to make the star a better place. As part of this duty, we employ creation magics to bring forth new life. However, we cannot simply release our works into the world, for it would lead to chaos. So any and all life forms must undergo extensive testing to determine their fitness to exist, testing which is conducted here in Elpis. Every candidate is subjected to rigorous study in which we identify their properties, surmise what habitats might be suitable, and speculate as to the effects they may have on the environment and other species. To be judged a beneficial addition to the star, will be allowed to take its place in the world. The two of you, too, were created with the hope of making the star a better place, so heed your masters well and be good. Do you hear? We will, Memnon, we will. Thanks for the lesson. You had a turn, now I get a turn. Where did you come from? From a place far, far away. From a place facing a great threat. From the Crystarium, I guess. Then I probably don't know it. I don't know much about other places. But this place is important to you. I can feel it. Oh, my power. I haven't told you about it. Creation. Let's find a creation. One not being watched, and I'll explain my power. Discuss the Spriggans. Spriggans? What are Spriggans? Oh no, we call them Orai. If there's many, it's just, if it's just one, we say Orais. Though they're cute, they can be naughty. Sometimes they run off with concept crystals, and Hermes has to run after them. Oh, this creation is perfect. But I don't remember seeing it before. Perhaps it's new? Anyway, I'll try reading its mind. That's my power. Hungry. I can't read it, or maybe there's nothing to read. Wait, please wait. I'll try again with you this time. You read my mind. Greetings, can you hear me? This is my power. I can read the emotions of those around me and project my emotions to others in return. I'm not actually speaking to you in your mind, rather you are converting my emotions into words and intention, a process performed subconsciously by intelligent life forms. Oh, like the flowers. This ability is vital to my mission, for it allows me to interact with intelligent beings, even should they communicate via unknown languages or other nonverbal means. As a consequence, I am clumsy at speaking. Yet though I struggle to express myself in this fashion, Hermes wants me to speak as much as possible, for everyone has thoughts and feelings they wish to hide. I harbor an affection for you, one that is difficult to define. Aside from the fact that you share common traits with us, your thoughts are more complex, charismatic. They draw me in and leave me wanting to know more. With respect for your privacy, I will refrain from using my power when speaking with you. Nevertheless, I want you to know that I wish to be your friend. Did you hear me? Hey, good. Now it's my turn again. So what are you good at? Fighting, crafting, gathering, playing. It's a secret. Ooh, a secret. That's something you want to hide. Just leave it to me. There, I blocked it out. I can't block everything. Not strong feelings, but that wasn't too strong. I think we might be bothering it. I have to read his mind and figure that out. Let's keep going. We'll go and see Yunthe next. He's usually in a small building, one on the west row. No, it's right here. One. Oh. Well, if it isn't Meteon, I see you brought a friend today. Greetings, I'm an apple. Could you make me an apple? Kind Hermes likes, covered in syrup. I want to share it with Zilly. Oh, candied apple. Hermes is certainly partial to them, but you know you can't eat, Meteon. You weren't made to do so. But I like it too. It may seem that way, but it's due to your ability to share others' feelings. You've taken Hermes' likes for your own. In any case, I can't prepare an apple right now, but I'll bring one for Hermes soon, I promise. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you my favorite thing, then I could ask about yours, but I failed. Tell her what you like. Ooh, that's what you like? Yes, I can feel it, your joy and happiness. And it makes me happy too. Thanks for sharing it with me. Well, we've walked and talked a lot. Maybe Hermes has finished talking too. Shall we go and see? There you are. I can see the fresh air has done Meteon good. Zilly wanted to learn about you and Elpis, so I taught her. About this place, about my power, about your favorite food. I'm not sure if that last one will be of any use. But I do appreciate your keeping Meteon company. While you were away, I finished speaking with our guests. Finished? Hardly. You requested time to consider the invitation, so we have no choice but to occupy ourselves with an inspection of your work. My apologies. It has been decided that Emmett, Selk, and Hithlodius will accompany me as I tend to my duties. If you wish to learn more, perhaps you would like to come, too. I'm compelled to remind you that she is in no way associated with the convocation. We simply chanced to meet at the Propylaeon. There's no guarantee that the matters we discuss will remain private. I do not mind. To see the joy her presence brings Meteon, I cannot imagine our mysterious friend harbors malicious intent. She is kind, really, truly. She taught me as much as I taught her. You're coming, of course, to watch Hermes. You're bound to learn lots and lots. Level 86. Ponder, warrant, cherish, welcome. Complete. Level 86. Lives apart. Composure regained. Hermes is ready to return to his duties. If everyone is ready, there are a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wayward ambastoma. Have care when you step outside a hub, for there may be more unruly creatures about. Toto. This here is a new species of Petaluda we recently set loose. It has been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it unto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? It is the presence of a soul, yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation, that can endure on their own. Things that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born of magic or natural phenomenon, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Morning. Ah yes, lightning pneuma, just as the report said. Although we call this structure beacon due to its form, it's in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, that element is lightning, which draws the pneuma here to replenish their ether. It appears Metion is busy. You care to assist me in her stead and feed the pneuma? By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball, a veritable feast for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. Yay. Perfectly done. Look. See how they gather to feed, how they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words. Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as the Pneuma or an ephemeral life form such as the Petaluda, all seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. Metion an arcane entity, Metion a living being. Good question. I can answer it from the theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional vision, such as Hythlodius, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you finished already? I'm sorry, I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They missed nothing of note, and we still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head east to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there. Boo boo.
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
Hours.
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis. Entelekis. Like me.
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby. Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions. In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feeling.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy. Dynamis, we call it. And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Entelekis.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait! A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis? I've never heard of such a thing.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter. On account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis. 'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteon?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it. However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%. The more
3%.
abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... Not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse. The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Precisely.
Yours is thin too. Like an entelechy. Like me. So... are we the same? Entelecchies.
What I know. Sure, I don't see why I could be one. Well, I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination. If I'm thin, it's because Emmett Selk didn't do a proper job.
I think not. Your nature remains a mystery, but ere I reinforced you, you appeared to be little more than a common familiar, and a faded one at that.
A deficit of ether alone does not an entelechy make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it.
Like a Green Lantern ring.
Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fella. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
Oh, 86 lives apart. Complete. Oh, 86, their greatest contribution. Emmett Selk appears to be deep in thought. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy and no one told me. Personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is, I still can't understand his hesitation. Why did you join the convocation? What do you specialize in? Oh, you wish to know why Emmett Selk was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. For him, it began when... Not another word. Hast you forgotten we're to learn about Hermes, not me? My misspent youth is not your concern. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released unto the world. The creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well, the Charybdis. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. I understand there's a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. Specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third generation creature was born with an etheric balance, leaning strongly towards water, its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. Such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. But you needn't go to such lengths. You don't know? But of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Inconvenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running about robeless. Shameful. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have the solution in itself. May I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from its fellows, somewhere out of sight? Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind. Emmet is out of sight. Good, let's speak of the plan. Stroke of genius, really. We have Emmet train the Charybdis. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents. And with this adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be, as I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. I want you to go to Emmett Selk, tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. Cat mode and say, use your keyboard or software keyboard to enter any phrase containing the words "I have a favor to ask" to indicate Emmett Selk that you have a request. I have one. See? He can't fly right now either. Well, are your preparations for the scheme that is clearly not a scheme complete? I'm going to say you have a favor to ask. Okay. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. I don't know what Hithlodius is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hithlodius is to be believed, relentless insistence may serve to wear down the ever-weary itself. Modin say, use your keyboard or software keyboard to enter the phrase containing the words, please, Selk, to plead with Selk. My keyboard's like way over here.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Selk. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Selk. Please.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I thank you to remember this favor, and let it be the last. I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we? You were wondering why Selk joined the convocation. Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see Aether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even, quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating Aether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one, far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over. to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow. Her antics irritate MSQ to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine, and together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you. I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to MSQ? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
Flying, it's really flying as if it were born to do so. Thank goodness. Oh, I'm supposed to wave. Okay. Like, it's not letting me click on the damn thing. Emerging from his reverie, MSQ notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. Billy and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. Creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. That we helped it to achieve this. The Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them. That is what you want. If I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that anomalies such as this specimen are never born in the first place? These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief, as you wish. Hermes? I'm fine, don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Anagnosis for now. Not say that. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Level 86, their greatest contribution, complete. Level 86, Aether to Aether. Something seems to be weighing on Hermes' mind. Tell me, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Nothing so far, but I'm hopeful that will change. Dynamis. Dynamis seemed promising. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I don't think I've found it yet. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Something the matter? The Achaeon, I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon a nearby Occupades, slaughtering them. Was the creature hungry or somehow provoked? I just fed them myself, and the Occupades were keeping a wide berth. It is the nature of the Achaeon that is to blame, their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it is an outstanding creature, perfect in form and function. But it may not be suited for release. I have no doubt the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all at once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of the incident? Just off the path, the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Hermes, wait. This part of the work, then I would observe, we follow. Here. Where is it? The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. Achaeon was indeed responsible. The creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. Man makes his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Mitselk and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the Achaeon did not escape. My thanks. Let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you have finished. We'll go on ahead. Please follow with Zilly. Come, it's down this path and over the bridge. The Aether, right. There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doros. Let's look for Doros too. He's a man with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Tiana is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed with quest objective. Leave Metian behind, entering a different area, speaking with her, and selecting the option to part ways. Wish to have Metian accompany you again, return and speak with her at the original location. Conversation spots. This guy's not blonde. To get back and record today's results, I should finally be able to put that report to bed. Not Doros. His hair is long, but the color is wrong. I don't know if any of them are on the outer side of the buildings. They're inside the buildings. There's one. Right color, but not the right length. Oh, he's got longer hair. Doros, that's Doros. Well, now, if it isn't Meteon, what brings you here? Ah, I thought I heard familiar voices. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. You're in charge of the Iconos, I believe. Where are they now? Out in the fields in restraints. Frenzied as they were, I couldn't well return them to Kisses. Once I've submitted my report, I'll see them reverted without delay. As he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14. Well, what brings you here? Nothing you need concern yourself with, as you were. You've heard the news that Lycon slaughtered deputies as the observer in charge. You are of the opinion that they are not fit to be released. I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. Matters not where they are released. Lycanos, okay, would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? Kind of like dogs or wolves? Highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them, all exhibited the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Kairos? Memory reconfiguration system. The chief himself created it. Allows us to erase or alter memories that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions without needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive and potentially dangerous. Depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions, Ashtaroth may wish to have words with you. Rest assured, I've kept all values within prescribed limits, and to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand. To manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but it's still preferable to execution. Come now, Chief, let's not be so melodramatic. What was born of Aether is simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinctions concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous star. But creation cannot be properly studied. Even with the aid of Kairos, we remake it. Creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. 'Tis all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such routine processes. I understand these things, I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat unto the world. Yet insignificant though their individual lives may be next to all creation, it is all the Leica ones we have. Before we seal their fates, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. If you insist, let me provide you with a full report, and we may take it from there. Would it be possible for us to attend this discussion, that M itself may better carry out his duties? By all means. Pray, show them to the meeting room. To man, other beings are just things to be used and controlled, like magic. That's what Hermes told me once. Level 86, Aether to Aether, complete. Tune to this Aetherite. Tune to the Aetherite.